The afternoon sun filters through the scratched window of Maya Torres's 15-year-old Honda Civic, illuminating the crumbs on the passenger seat and the stack of past due notices shoved into the glove compartment. She checks the address one more time, 2847 North Lakeview, then glances at the enormous three-tier wedding cake secured in the back seat with two seatbelts and a prayer. "Please don't fall," she whispers, taking the turn as gently as possible. "Please, please don't fall." Her phone buzzes. Sophie's school. Again. "Ms. Torres, this is Principal Hammond. Sophie's tuition payment for this semester is now 60 days overdue. We'll need to discuss a payment plan by Friday, or we'll have to ask you to withdraw her from the program." Maya's throat tightens. She's heard versions of this call from the landlord, the electric company, and her car insurance provider. The harmony of financial disaster. "I'll have something by Friday," she promises, knowing her bank account currently holds $83.12. The wedding cake she's delivering will bring in $400, barely enough to keep the lights on and put gas in the tank. She pulls up to the address, frowning. This doesn't look like a wedding venue. The building is an upscale Italian restaurant, dark windows reflecting the late afternoon light. A sign on the door reads, "Closed for private event." Maya checks her phone again. The client specifically said 2847 North Lakeview, 3 o'clock delivery. She's right on time. "Okay," she says to herself, grabbing the first tier of the cake. In and out. Quick and professional. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. The front door is unlocked. Maya shoulders it open, balancing the cake box carefully. Inside, the restaurant is dimly lit. Elegant. Dark wood panels, white tablecloths, the scent of expensive wine and fresh bread. And 6 men in dark suits, sitting around a table covered in papers and what looks like surveillance photographs. They all turn to look at her. Maya freezes. The silence stretches like a rubber band about to snap. The man at the head of the table stands slowly. He's tall, probably 6'3", with dark hair starting to gray at the temples. His suit probably costs more than Maya makes in 3 months. But it's his eyes that stop her breath. Dark, calculating, and utterly unreadable. "I think you have the wrong address," he says. His voice is quiet, controlled, with the kind of authority that doesn't need volume. I'm so sorry," Maya stammers, already backing toward the door. "I'm delivering a wedding cake to 2847 North Lakeview. The client said 3 o'clock. "This is 2847 North Lakeview," one of the other men says. He's younger, with nervous energy radiating off him. But there's no wedding here. The tall man, clearly the one in charge, studies her with those unreadable eyes. Maya feels like a butterfly pinned to a board. "What's your name?" he asks. Maya Torres." She wants to kick herself for answering so readily. "I own Sweet Endings Bakery. Well, I work out of my apartment, but I'm licensed and everything is up to code." She's babbling now, terrified for reasons she can't quite name. "Maya." He says her name like he's testing how it sounds. "Show me the order form." Her hands shake as she pulls out her phone, showing him the email. He takes the phone from her hands. His fingers brush hers, and she notices the scar across his knuckles, and reads carefully. "Your client gave you the wrong address," he says finally, handing back her phone. "The Lakeview Terrace venue is at 2847 South Lakeview. You're 10 miles north of where you need to be." Maya's stomach drops. "South? But the cake, I need to... What time is it?" 3:15. Oh God. Oh God. The wedding starts at 4. I'll never make it through traffic. She can already see the 1-star review, the angry calls, the $400 she won't get paid. Maybe she can refund half the deposit, but that still leaves her Breathe, the man says, and it's a command, not a suggestion. Marco. One of the younger men stands immediately. Yes, boss? Boss. The word registers in Maya's frightened brain. This isn't a business meeting. This is something else entirely. Get Nico. Tell him to bring the SUV around back. We're going to help Ms. Torres deliver her cake. That's not necessary, Maya says quickly. I can just... Through rush hour traffic, with a 3-tier wedding cake in a 15-year-old Honda? He raises an eyebrow. You'll be lucky to arrive by 6. And that's if the cake survives the potholes on Lakeshore Drive. He's right, and they both know it. I'll have my driver take you, he continues, already moving toward the back of the restaurant. His vehicle has better suspension. Your cake will arrive intact. I can't just leave my car here. Marco will drive it to your address. You'll get it back tonight. Maya wants to argue, wants to refuse, wants to run, but she thinks of the $400, of Sophie's tuition, of the electric bill with the red, final notice stamp. Okay, she whispers. Thank you. His expression doesn't change, but something flickers in those dark eyes. Don't thank me yet. The SUV is a black Escalade with tinted windows and leather seats that probably cost more than her rent. The driver, Nico, is a mountain of a man who handles the cake boxes with surprising gentleness. The tall man, Maya still doesn't know his name, slides into the back seat beside her. You're coming? She asks, startled. I have business on the south side anyway. He's already on his phone, typing rapidly. Consider it efficient multitasking. The SUV glides through Chicago traffic like water flowing around stones. Nico seems to know every shortcut, every alley, every way to avoid the worst of the rush hour gridlock. Maya watches the city blur past, hyper-aware of the man beside her. He's still working on his phone, but she can feel his attention on her, like heat from a flame. You're wondering who I am, he says without looking up. It's none of my business. No, it's not. He finally looks at her, and Maya has to fight the urge to look away. But you walked into a private meeting, saw faces you shouldn't have seen, heard things you shouldn't have heard. That makes it my business. Fear spikes through her chest. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. I was only there for 30 seconds. 47 seconds, actually. His tone is almost amused. You're a terrible liar, Maya Torres. Your pulse is racing. I can see it in your throat. She puts her hand over her neck instinctively. I'm not going to hurt you, he says, and somehow she believes him. But I need to know you understand the situation. What you saw today? I saw a business meeting, Maya interrupts, meeting his eyes. I saw men in suits discussing paperwork. That's all I saw. That's all I'll ever say I saw. He studies her for a long moment. Then, incredibly, he almost smiles. It transforms his face, makes him look younger, less dangerous. Smart, he says. You have a daughter, don't you? I saw the car seat. Maya's blood runs cold. Don't. I'm not threatening your child. His voice hardens. I don't hurt children, ever, but I notice details. It's how I stay alive. Who are you? The question escapes before she can stop it. My name is Dante Moretti. He says it like he expects her to recognize it. She doesn't. Should she? I own several businesses in Chicago, he continues. Restaurants, construction companies, import-export. The meeting you interrupted was discussing a supply chain issue. It's a lie. They both know it's a lie, but it's the lie they're going to agree to live with. Okay, Maya says quietly. You're divorced? He's still studying her, reading her like a book. Never married. Sophie's father. She hesitates. He's not in the picture. By choice or by necessity? The question is too perceptive. Does it matter? It might. Maya looks out the window. They're getting close to the venue now. His choice first, then mine, then a restraining order when he didn't respect my choice. She can feel Dante's attention sharpen like a predator catching a scent. How long ago? 8 months. He's not supposed to come within 500 feet of me or Sophie. She doesn't know why she's telling him this. Maybe because he's a stranger she'll never see again. Maybe because keeping secrets takes energy she doesn't have. He doesn't always respect that either. The SUV pulls up to the Lakeview terrace. Through the windows, Maya can see the wedding party gathering, the photographers setting up shots. We made it, she breathes. Oh, thank God we made it. Nico is already out of the car, handling the cake boxes with the same careful precision. Maya scrambles to help, checking each tier for damage. Miraculously, everything is perfect. The bride rushes over, radiant and relieved. Oh, you're here. I was getting worried. This is the cake table. Do you need help setting up? I've got it, Maya assures her, already falling into the familiar rhythm of assembly. You go enjoy your day. This is your moment. As she works, she's aware of Dante watching from the SUV. She doesn't look at him, but she feels his gaze like a physical touch. When the cake is perfect, 3 tiers of ivory buttercream decorated with delicate sugar flowers, Maya steps back. The bride squeals with delight, and suddenly Maya is being hugged by a woman in a $5,000 dress. It's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. The check is in Maya's hands a moment later. $400. Sophie's tuition for another month. She turns back to the SUV, but it's already gone. Maya doesn't think about Dante Moretti for the rest of the evening. That's a lie. She thinks about him constantly. She thinks about him as she picks Sophie up from the after-school program, 45 minutes before they close and start charging late fees. She thinks about him as she heats up mac and cheese for dinner. The box kind, not the fancy baked version she makes for clients. She thinks about him as she helps Sophie with her homework, as she runs the bath, as she reads Goodnight Moon for probably the 1,000th time. Mama? Sophie asks, her dark eyes, so much like Maya's own, curious in the dim nightlight glow. Why do you look worried? I'm not worried, baby, just tired. You're always tired. The simple truth of it breaks Maya's heart a little. I know, but it's a good tired. It means I'm working hard to take care of us. Sophie considers this, then snuggles deeper into her pillows. I love you, Mama. I love you too, Soph. More than anything in the whole world. After Sophie falls asleep, Maya sits at her tiny kitchen table, really just a folding card table with a tablecloth, and opens her laptop. The email from the bride has arrived. 5 stars, glowing review, and a request for Maya to make the groom's cake for her sister's wedding in 2 months. It's good news. Great news, even. So why does she feel like she's standing on the edge of a cliff? Her phone rings. Unknown number. She almost doesn't answer, but something makes her thumb hit the green button. Ms. Torres. Dante Moretti's voice is unmistakable. Your car has been cleaned and is currently parked in front of your building. Keys are with your landlord. How do you know where I live? Your business license is public record. I told you, I noticed details. Maya should be frightened. She is frightened. But there's something else too, something she doesn't want to examine too closely. Thank you, she says, for everything. The ride, the car, all of it. You're welcome. A pause. Maya, I need you to do something. For me. Here it comes, she thinks. The payment for the favor. What? If your ex-boyfriend violates the restraining order again, I want you to call me. He rattles off a phone number. Save it. Use it if you need it. Why would you? Because men who hurt women are a particular problem of mine, he interrupts, and there's steel in his voice now, cold and sharp. And because you're a single mother working yourself to exhaustion to provide for your daughter, that deserves respect. And protection. Maya's throat tightens. When was the last time someone offered to protect her? When was the last time someone saw her struggle and tried to help without expecting something in return? I don't understand, she whispers. You don't have to. Just save the number. The line goes dead. Maya sits in her quiet apartment, listening to the radiator clank and Sophie's soft breathing from the bedroom, and saves the number. She tells herself she'll never use it. She's wrong about that too. 3 days pass before Maya sees Dante Moretti again. 3 ordinary days of baking custom cakes in her tiny apartment kitchen, of dropping Sophie at school, of juggling payments and creditors like a circus performer with too many balls in the air. 3 days of checking her rearview mirror more than usual, of saving Dante's number under DM emergency only, of telling herself that the flutter in her stomach when she thinks of him is just anxiety. It's Thursday afternoon when her world tilts again. Maya is piping delicate roses onto a birthday cake when her phone buzzes. Sophie's school. Her heart immediately lurches. They only call for 2 reasons: unpaid tuition or emergencies. Ms. Torres, this is Mrs. Chen from the front office. There's a gentleman here who says he's here to pick up Sophie. A Mr. Derek Hammond? The piping bag drops from Maya's hands, splattering buttercream across the counter. Derek. Sophie's father. The man with the restraining order. Do not release my daughter to him, Maya says, already grabbing her keys, her phone, her purse. He has a restraining order. He's not authorized for pickup. I'm coming right now. Don't let him near her. We haven't released her, Ms. Torres. He's in the lobby, but he's becoming agitated. Should we call the police? Yes. Call them. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Maya runs to her car, heart hammering against her ribs. Derek has tried to text her, has driven past her apartment, has sent flowers with apology notes that made her skin crawl. But he's never come to Sophie's school before. He's never been this bold. Traffic feels like molasses. Every red light is an eternity. Maya's hands grip the steering wheel so hard her knuckles turn white. Her phone rings. She answers without checking the ID. Maya. Dante's voice, calm and controlled. Marco just informed me that there's activity at your daughter's school. A man matching your ex-boyfriend's description from the restraining order. How do you... She doesn't. Finish the question. It doesn't matter. I'm on my way there now. The school called the police. The police will take 20 minutes in this traffic. I'm 7 minutes away. Dante, you don't have to... Yes, I do. Something in his voice makes her shiver. When I arrive, I'm going to have a conversation with Derek. It will be very brief and very clear. He won't bother you or Sophie again. You can't hurt him. The restraining order, if he presses charges, it'll complicate everything. I won't lay a hand on him. Dante's voice drops lower, somehow more dangerous without volume. But he's going to understand that you and your daughter are protected now, that if he comes near you again, he won't have to worry about the police. Maya should tell him to stay away, should tell him she doesn't need a mafia boss. Because that's what he is. She's not stupid. Fighting her battles. Should tell him that accepting his help will pull her into a world she has no business being in. Instead, she whispers, "Thank you. Drive safely, Maya. I'll see you soon." When Maya screeches into the school parking lot, Dante is already there. He's standing in front of the building's entrance, blocking it with the kind of stillness that predators have before they strike. Behind him are 2 men, one she recognizes as Marco from the restaurant, the other a new face, equally dangerous looking. And in front of Dante, practically vibrating with rage and alcohol-fueled courage, is Derek Hammond. Derek looks worse than when Maya last saw him 8 months ago. His eyes are bloodshot, his clothes wrinkled, and there's a manic energy coming off him that makes her stomach clench with remembered fear. "You don't know who you're messing with," Derek is saying as Maya approaches. "That's my daughter in there. I have rights." "You have a restraining order," Dante says quietly. which means you have no rights here at all. Maya runs toward them, and Derek's head snaps in her direction. Maya, baby, I just want to talk. I just want to see my little girl. Stay away from me. Her voice shakes, but she forces herself to meet his eyes. You're violating the restraining order, Derek. The police are coming. I'm her father. You're a man who put me in the hospital, Maya says, and the words taste like ash. You're a man who told our 6-year-old daughter that mommy was lying, that you never hurt me. You're a man who hasn't paid a cent of child support in 2 years. Derek's face twists with rage. He lunges toward her. He doesn't make it 3 steps. Dante moves like water, smooth and inevitable. One moment he's standing still. The next his hand is on Derek's chest, stopping his forward momentum with what looks like minimal effort. But Derek stumbles backward like he's been hit by a truck. We're going to have a conversation, Dante says conversationally. You and I. Privately. In my car. I don't have to do anything you say. Dante leans in close and whispers something in Derek's ear. Whatever he says drains the color from Derek's face. Get in the car, Derek, Dante says, straightening. Now. Derek looks at Maya, at the school building, at the 2 men flanking Dante. Whatever fight was in him evaporates. He shuffles toward the black Escalade parked at the curb. Dante turns to Maya. Go get your daughter, take her home. Marco will follow you to make sure Derek doesn't try anything else today. What are you going to do to him? Have a conversation. His eyes are cold, flat. That's all. I promised you I wouldn't lay a hand on him. Dante? Trust me, Maya. She doesn't know why, but she does. Sophie is in the principal's office clutching her backpack when Maya bursts through the door. The little girl's face crumples with relief. Mama. Maya scoops her up, breathing in the scent of her strawberry shampoo and school cafeteria lunch. It's okay, baby. It's okay. I'm here. The lady said Daddy was here, but Daddy's not supposed to be here. You said, I know what I said. And I was right. Daddy broke the rules. But he's gone now. Principal Hammond, no relation to Derek, thank God, appears in the doorway. Ms. Torres, the police are on their way. We've filed an incident report. Our security footage shows him entering the building and becoming aggressive with our staff. Thank you. Maya's voice is steady now. Sophie solid and real in her arms. I'll speak to the police when they arrive. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one. She carries Sophie to the car, buckling her into the booster seat with trembling hands. Marco's car, a dark sedan, is indeed following them, maintaining a discreet distance. At home, Maya makes Sophie her favorite snack, apple slices with peanut butter, and puts on a Disney movie. By the time the credits roll, Sophie has fallen asleep on the couch, exhausted by the emotional upheaval. Maya is carrying her to bed when there's a knock at the door. She checks the peephole. Dante. She opens the door. He looks exactly the same as when she left him at the school. Expensive suit, controlled expression, those dark eyes that see too much. But there's something different in the set of his shoulders, a tension that wasn't there before. Derek won't bother you again, he says without preamble. What did you say to him? I explained the situation. I made it clear that you and Sophie have protection now, that if he violates the restraining order again, if he so much as drives past your apartment building, he'll answer to me. And to people who make me look gentle. Maya's hands twist together. You can't just threaten people on my behalf. I didn't threaten him. Dante's expression doesn't change. I made him a promise. There's a difference. What's the difference? A threat is a possibility. A promise is a guarantee. They stare at each other in the doorway of her cramped apartment. Maya should feel afraid. She should feel manipulated, cornered, dragged into something dangerous. Instead, she feels safe for the first time in 2 years. "Why are you doing this?" she asks. "You don't know me. I'm nobody to you." Dante is quiet for a long moment. "When I was 8 years old, my father beat my mother so badly she lost hearing in her left ear. I sat in the closet and listened to it happen. I was too small, too weak to stop it. By the time I was big enough, strong enough, he was already dead. Someone else had killed him in a business dispute. I never got to protect her." Maya's breath catches. "I'm 36 years old now," he continues. "I run an organization that controls a significant portion of this city's underground economy. I have money, power, resources, and I use those resources however I see fit." He meets her eyes. "Today, I choose to use them to protect you and your daughter. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to like it. But it's done." "I don't want to owe you anything," Maya whispers. "You don't. This isn't a transaction, Maya. This is a choice I made." "But why me?" "Because you walked into my meeting carrying a wedding cake and apologizing. Because you're working yourself to exhaustion for your daughter. Because when Derek lunged at you, you didn't flinch. You stood your ground even though you were terrified." Something flickers in his expression, almost like admiration. "Because you remind me that good people exist, and they deserve to be protected." Maya doesn't realize she's crying until Dante reaches out and carefully wipes a tear from her cheek with his thumb. The touch is gentle, reverent almost. "Get some sleep," he says softly. "Marco will be parked outside your building tonight. Tomorrow, I'm sending someone to install a better security system. Don't argue with me about it." "I was going to say thank you," Maya says. This time, his smile is real. It transforms his entire face, makes him look younger, less like a dangerous criminal and more like a man who knows how to be kind. "You're welcome." He turns to leave, then pauses. "Maya, that cake you made, the wedding cake, can you do custom orders for other events?" "I can make anything," she says automatically. It's what she tells all potential clients. "Good. I'm hosting a dinner next month. Important business associates. I need dessert for 20 people. Something impressive." "I can do that." "Excellent. I'll have someone contact you with the details and a deposit." He's already walking down the hallway. "Good night, Maya." "Good night, Dante." She closes the door and leans against it, heart racing. This is dangerous, the rational part of her brain says. This is a man who makes promises that involve violence. This is a man who controls criminal enterprises. This is not someone you should let into your life. But the rational part of her brain is being drowned out by the part that remembers Derek's face when Dante stopped him. The part that feels the phantom warmth of Dante's thumb on her cheek. The part that, for the first time in years, doesn't feel alone. The security system is installed the next morning by two efficient, polite men who refuse to tell her how much it costs. The system includes cameras, motion sensors, and a panic button that, they explain carefully, connects directly to Mr. Moretti's security team. "If you press this button," one of them says, showing her the small device that looks like a car key fob, "someone will be here in under 5 minutes, day or night, no matter what." Maya stares at the button. This seems like a lot. "Mr. Moretti was very clear about the level of security you require, ma'am." After they leave, Maya sits on her worn couch and looks around her apartment with new eyes. The cameras are subtle, barely noticeable, but they're there, watching, protecting. She's been pulled into Dante Moretti's orbit now, whether she wanted to be or not. Her phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number with a Chicago area code. "Unknown. This is Carla, Mr. Moretti's assistant. For the dinner event on November 3rd, Mr. Moretti would like an assortment of Italian desserts, tiramisu, cannoli, panna cotta, and a centerpiece cake. Theme: Elegant but not ostentatious. Budget. Unlimited. Please confirm receipt of this message and your availability. Maya reads it 3 times. Budget. Unlimited. She types back. Confirmed. I'm available. Can I get a final headcount 2 days before the event? The response is immediate. Absolutely. A deposit of $2,000 will be transferred to your business account today. Remaining balance upon completion. $2,000. As a deposit. Maya's hands shake as she types. That's very generous. Thank you. Carla. Mr. Moretti values quality. He believes you will deliver it. Maya sets down her phone and stares at the ceiling of her cramped apartment. A month ago, she was 3 days from eviction, stealing toilet paper from public restrooms, watering down Sophie's juice to make it last longer. Now she has a security system, a restraining order enforcer, and a client willing to pay her what amounts to a month's rent for a single event. It's too much. It's all too much. But it's also a lifeline, and Maya Torres has never been too proud to grab a lifeline when she's drowning. The next 3 weeks pass in a blur of normalcy that feels anything but normal. Maya bakes. She picks up Sophie from school. She pays bills. On time, for the first time in months. She tests recipes for the Italian desserts, experimenting with mascarpone and espresso, and the delicate balance of sugar and cream. Marco is always nearby. Not obviously, not intrusively, but there. Parked down the street when she leaves for the grocery store. In the coffee shop across from Sophie's school during pickup. A shadow that somehow makes her feel safer rather than watched. Derek doesn't call. Doesn't text. Doesn't drive past her building. Whatever Dante said to him, it worked. Maya tells herself she's grateful for the protection and nothing more. She tells herself that the flutter in her stomach when she thinks of Dante is just anxiety about moving in dangerous circles. She tells herself that the care she's putting into his desserts is professional pride, nothing personal. She's lying to herself about all of it. The truth reveals itself on a Wednesday afternoon, when Dante shows up at her apartment unannounced. Maya answers the door in flour-dusted jeans and a tank top, hair piled on top of her head in a messy bun. She's been working on panna cotta tests all morning, and her kitchen looks like a cream explosion. Dante. She immediately tries to brush flour off her clothes, then gives up. I wasn't expecting you. Is something wrong? Nothing's wrong. I was in the neighborhood. It's obviously a lie. Men like Dante Moretti don't have neighborhoods, they're just in. I wanted to see how the dessert planning is going. It's going well. Do you want to come in? I have samples. She realizes what she's saying and freezes. I mean, if you have time. You probably don't have time. You're probably busy with, I have time, he says, and steps inside. Her apartment has never felt smaller. Dante fills the space with his presence, making her IKEA furniture look even shabbier, making her carefully patched couch cushions more obvious. If he notices the poverty, he doesn't show it. His attention is entirely on her. Something smells incredible, he says. Tiramisu. I'm testing coffee ratios. She gestures toward the kitchen, which is visible from the tiny living room. I have 3 variations if you want to try them. Dante shrugs off his suit jacket. Charcoal gray, probably Italian, definitely expensive, and drapes it over a chair. He rolls up his sleeves, and Maya sees more scars on his forearms. Old wounds, long-healed. Show me, he says. They end up at her folding table, 3 small plates of tiramisu between them. Maya watches nervously as Dante takes a bite of the first one, then the second, then the third. His expression remains neutral, contemplative. The second one, he says finally. The coffee is stronger, but it doesn't overpower the mascarpone. It's balanced. Maya exhales. That's my favorite too, but I wasn't sure if it was too intense. Intensity isn't a flaw, not when it's done right. He's looking at her now, not the tiramisu. The air between them feels charged, electric. Mama! Sophie's voice from the bedroom. Can I have a snack? The moment breaks. Maya jumps up. Of course, baby, come out here. Sophie emerges in her favorite princess pajamas, then freezes when she sees Dante. She edges closer to Maya, 6-year-old instincts recognizing a predator even if she doesn't understand what that means. Dante does something Maya doesn't expect. He crouches down, putting himself at Sophie's eye level, making himself smaller, less threatening. Hello, he says gently. You must be Sophie. I'm Dante. I'm a friend of your mom's. Sophie looks at Maya for confirmation. Maya nods. You're really tall, Sophie observes. I am. You're right. Do you like princesses? A smile tugs at Dante's mouth. I don't know much about princesses. Which one is your favorite? Moana. She's brave and she saves everyone. That sounds like a very good princess to admire. Sophie warms up slightly. Mama makes the best snacks. She can make cakes that look like castles. I know. Your mama is very talented. Dante glances at Maya. You're lucky to have her. I know, Sophie says seriously. Then, with the mercurial nature of 6-year-olds, she asks, Can I have goldfish crackers? Maya gets the crackers, and Sophie takes them back to her room to watch her show. When they're alone again, Dante straightens, and the moment of gentleness is replaced by something more complicated. She's beautiful, he says. She has your eyes. Thank you. Maya sits back down at the table. That was kind. What you did just now. Making yourself less scary for her. I'm not a monster, Maya. I don't frighten children. I know. I didn't expect. She doesn't finish the sentence. You didn't expect me to be good with kids. It's not a question. It's not that. You're full of surprises. Dante is quiet for a moment, his fingers tracing the edge of his espresso cup. I have a nephew, Alessandro. He's 7. His father, my brother, died 3 years ago. Car accident. Alessandro and his mother live with me now. I'm so sorry. My brother was a good man, better than me. He kept the family legitimate, ran the restaurants, the construction companies. I'm the one who handles the darker side of our business. Dante meets her eyes. But Alessandro doesn't know that. To him, I'm just Uncle Dante who teaches him chess and takes him to baseball games. Maya sees it then, the complexity of Dante Moretti. The man who controls criminal enterprises but teaches his nephew chess. The man who makes promises involving violence but crouches down to talk gently to a frightened child. The man who is both protective and dangerous, kind and ruthless. You're a good uncle, she says softly. I try to be. He stands, reaching for his jacket. I should go. You have work to do. Dante? Maya stands too, suddenly not wanting him to leave. Thank you. For Derek. For the security system. For the job. For all of it. You don't have to keep thanking me. Yes, I do. Because nobody else has helped me like this. Nobody else has seen me struggling and actually done something about it. Her voice cracks slightly. So thank you. Dante crosses the small space between them in 2 strides. For a heart-stopping moment, Maya thinks he's going to kiss her. Instead, he cups her face in his scarred hands, thumbs brushing her cheekbones. You're not alone anymore, he says quietly. Do you understand that? You're not alone. Maya nods, not trusting her voice. He holds her gaze for another moment, then releases her and steps back. The dinner is on November 3rd. I'll send Carla with final details next week. I'll be ready. I know you will. He shrugs into his jacket, transforming back into the powerful, untouchable Mafia boss. Good night, Maya. Good night, Dante. After he leaves, Maya leans against the closed door, heart racing, face still warm from where his hands touched her skin. She's falling for him. God help her. She's falling for a man who makes his living in the shadows, who protects her with violence, who exists in a world she has no business entering, but it's too late to stop now. Script. Part 3. November 3rd arrives with unseasonable warmth, and Maya's hands shaking as she loads the desserts into the catering van Dante insisted on providing. The tiramisu is perfect, layered in individual crystal cups. The cannoli shells are crisp, filled fresh this morning. The panna cotta gleams like ivory silk. And the centerpiece cake, a 3-tier masterpiece of dark chocolate and gold leaf, sits secure in its custom box. "You've got this, Mama," Sophie says from the back seat, where Dante's housekeeper Rosa is keeping her entertained for the evening. "I know, baby." Maya checks her reflection in the rearview mirror. She's wearing her nicest dress. Black, simple, probably 5 years old but still elegant enough. Her hair is down, dark waves falling past her shoulders. She looks almost like she belongs in Dante's world. Almost. The address Carla provided leads to a mansion in Lincoln Park. Not just a house, a mansion. 3 stories of old money and new power, with security gates and cameras and men in suits stationed at every entrance. Marco meets her at the service entrance. "Ms. Torres, right on time. Mr. Moretti is finishing a meeting, but everything is set up in the dining room." The kitchen is larger than Maya's entire apartment. Commercial appliances, marble countertops, a wine cellar visible through glass doors. A staff of 5 is preparing the main courses, moving with choreographed efficiency. "The dessert service will be at 9, Marco explains. "You can set up on the sideboard here. Mr. Moretti wanted you to stay for the dinner, but if you're uncomfortable—" "I'll stay," Maya says. She's not sure why, except that the thought of being in the same room as Dante, watching him in his element, feels necessary somehow. At 8:30, the guests arrive. Maya watches from the kitchen doorway as 20 impeccably dressed people file into the dining room. They're not what she expected. No gaudy jewelry, no obvious weapons, no Hollywood Mafia stereotypes. They look like successful business people, CEOs and lawyers and politicians, which, she realizes, is exactly what makes them dangerous. Dante enters last, and Maya's breath catches. He's wearing a black suit that fits him like a second skin, his hair slicked back, his presence commanding the room without effort. When he speaks, everyone listens. When he laughs, rare, controlled. Others smile in response. This is his kingdom, and he is absolutely the king. "The woman in the kitchen," one of the guests says, a silver-haired man in his 60s. "Is that the baker you mentioned?" Dante's eyes find Maya across the room. "Yes, Maya Torres. She's exceptionally talented. Pretty too," another man comments. "Is she—" "She's under my protection," Dante says, and there's steel in his voice now. "Which means she's off limits, to everyone, understood?" A ripple of understanding passes through the room. Maya feels her cheeks flush. The dinner progresses smoothly. Courses appear and disappear. Wine flows. Conversations ebb and flow with the practiced rhythm of people used to power. Maya prepares the dessert plates with shaking hands, arranging each element with precision. At 9 o'clock, she and 2 servers carry out the desserts. The response is immediate. Compliments flow, genuine appreciation for the artistry and flavor. Maya stands by the sideboard, accepting praise with grace, hyper-aware of Dante watching her from the head of the table. "Ms. Torres," the silver-haired man says, "this tiramisu is exceptional, perhaps the best I've had outside of Rome." "Thank you. I use a family recipe. Well, a recipe I learned from a family. Not my family, but—" She's rambling, nervous. Dante rescues her. Maya is being modest. She's a master at her craft. "I'm lucky she accepted this commission." His eyes say more than his words. "I'm lucky I found you," they say. I'm lucky you walked into my meeting with a wedding cake. The moment is broken by a commotion at the front of the house. Raised voices, then a crash. Dante is on his feet instantly, his entire demeanor shifting from gracious host to lethal predator. Stay here, he orders the room, then disappears into the hallway. Maya's instincts scream at her to follow. Something is wrong, deeply, dangerously wrong. She slips out of the dining room despite Marco's protests, following the sounds of confrontation to the foyer. What she sees stops her heart. Derek is there, wild-eyed and drunk, holding a gun. He's already knocked out one of the security guards. Blood streams from the man's temple, and he's pointing the gun directly at Dante. You, Derek slurs. You threatened me, told me to stay away from what's mine. But Maya's mine, Sophie's mine. Put the gun down, Derek, Dante says calmly, but Maya can see the calculation in his eyes, the way he's measuring distances, angles, opportunities. Not until you bring her out here, not until she tells me herself that she chooses you over me. Maya steps forward before anyone can stop her. Derek, what are you doing? Derek's attention snaps to her, and the gun wavers. Baby. See, I knew you were here. I knew you were with him. His face twists with rage and pain. How could you? How could you choose a criminal over me? You put me in the hospital, Maya says, keeping her voice steady even though terror is clawing at her throat. You gave me a concussion and 3 broken ribs. You told me I deserved it. I was drunk. I didn't mean... You meant it. She takes another step forward. Dante makes a warning sound, but she ignores him. And when I left, you stalked me, harassed me, violated a restraining order. So yes, Derek, I choose him over you. I choose anyone over you. The gun steadies, pointing now at Maya's chest. Dante moves like lightning. One moment he's 3 feet away, the next he's between Maya and the gun, his hand closing around Derek's wrist with crushing force. The gun discharges, deafeningly loud in the marble foyer, but the bullet goes into the ceiling. Derek screams as Dante twists his arm, forcing him to his knees. The gun clatters to the floor. Marco, Dante says, his voice absolutely calm despite the chaos. Call our friends in the police department. Tell them we have an intruder who assaulted our security and discharged a weapon. Tell them Ms. Torres will be pressing charges. No! Derek is sobbing now. Maya, please, I love you. I love Sophie. Maya looks down at him. This man who once made her laugh, who fathered her child, who then systematically destroyed her sense of safety and self-worth. Love doesn't hurt people, she says quietly. Love doesn't break ribs and give concussions. Love doesn't stalk and threaten. What you feel isn't love, Derek. It's obsession and control. And I'm done being controlled by you. The police arrive within minutes. Real police, not corrupt ones, but officers who clearly have some understanding with Dante's organization. They take Derek away in handcuffs, his screams echoing even after the doors close. The dinner guests have scattered, the evening ruined. But Maya barely notices. She's staring at Dante, at the tension still coiled in his shoulders, at the way he's holding his side. You're hurt, she says. I'm fine. Dante. She pulls his hand away from his side. Blood seeps through his white shirt. You're not fine. The bullet grazed me. It's nothing serious. It's a gunshot wound. Rosa appears with a first aid kit already organizing, already efficient. Upstairs, Mr. Moretti. Now. Ms. Torres is right. You need proper medical attention. Dante allows himself to be herded upstairs to a bedroom suite that's larger than Maya's entire apartment. He sits on the edge of the bed while Rosa cuts away his shirt, revealing the angry red graze across his ribs. I've called Dr. Martinez, Rosa says. He'll be here in 20 minutes. It's just a scratch, Dante insists, but he winces when Rosa cleans it. Maya kneels beside him, taking his hand. You stepped in front of a gun for me. Of course I did. You could have been killed. So could you. He cups her face with his free hand, the same gesture from weeks ago, but weighted with more now. I told you that you're protected. I meant it. Why? The question tears out of her. Why do you care so much? I'm nobody. I'm a broke single mother who makes cakes in her apartment. You're not nobody. His voice is fierce now. You're a woman who works herself to exhaustion to provide for her daughter. You're brave enough to stand up to a man with a gun. You're talented and kind and resilient. You walked into my world by accident, and somehow you made it better just by being in it. Maya's eyes fill with tears. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to be with someone like you. I don't know how to live in a world where guns go off in foyers and dinner guests are criminals. They're not all criminals, Dante says wryly. Some of them are just corrupt. There's a difference. She laughs despite herself, a broken wet sound. Maya, listen to me. Dante tilts her face up so she has to meet his eyes. I can't promise you safety. My life is dangerous, and being close to me makes you a target. But I can promise you protection. I can promise you that I will use every resource I have, every ounce of power I possess, to keep you and Sophie safe. And I can promise you this. He leans forward, his forehead resting against hers. I'm falling in love with you. Maybe I started falling the moment you walked into that meeting with buttercream on your hands, apologizing for interrupting. I don't know. But I know I don't want to let you go. I'm falling in love with you too, Maya whispers, and it terrifies me. Good. Fear keeps you smart, keeps you careful. He pulls back slightly, studying her face. But don't let it keep you from living. Don't let Derek's ghost steal more from you than he already has. The door opens, and a distinguished older man with a medical bag enters. Dr. Martinez, presumably. He examines Dante's wound with professional detachment, cleans it properly, applies antibiotics and bandages. You'll live, he pronounces, but you're getting too old for bullet wounds, Dante. I'm 36, not 60. In this business, 36 is practically retirement age. Dr. Martinez packs up his bag. Keep it clean, change the bandages daily, call me if there's any sign of infection, and maybe consider a less dangerous hobby. Gardening, perhaps. After he leaves, Maya and Dante are alone in the enormous bedroom. The adrenaline is fading now, leaving exhaustion in its wake. Stay, Dante says quietly. Rosa can watch Sophie tonight. Stay here with me. Maya knows what she should say. She should go home, should put distance between herself and this dangerous, complicated man. Should think about what it means to pull Sophie into this world. Instead, she kicks off her shoes and climbs onto the bed beside him, careful of his injury. Dante pulls her close and she fits against him like they've been doing this for years. This is crazy, she murmurs against his chest. Completely insane, he agrees. Your dinner guests are going to think I'm your mistress now. Let them think what they want. You're not my mistress. You're... He pauses, choosing, his words carefully. You're mine to protect, mine to care for. And if you'll let me, mine to love. Maya tilts her head up to look at him. In the dim bedroom light with his guard down, he looks younger, vulnerable, human. She kisses him. It's soft at first, tentative, both of them learning the shape of this new thing between them. Then Dante's hand slides into her hair, and the kiss deepens, becomes something more urgent, more desperate, like they're both trying to prove they're alive after coming so close to death. When they finally break apart, breathless, Dante is smiling. A real smile, not the controlled version he shows the world. I've wanted to do that since the day you walked into my meeting, he admits. With the wedding cake? With the wedding cake, the buttercream on your hands, and the most adorable panic in your eyes. Maya laughs, the sound light and free. I thought you were going to kill me. I thought about it, he teases. But then you showed me the order form with such earnest concern, and I realized killing you would be a terrible waste. They talk for hours, trading stories, learning each other. Dante tells her about growing up in his father's shadow, about taking over the family business at 25, about the weight of power and the cost of loyalty. Maya tells him about culinary school dreams she couldn't afford, about Derek's slow transformation from charming to controlling, about the fierce love she has for Sophie that makes every sacrifice worth it. Somewhere around midnight, Maya's phone buzzes. A text from Rosa. Sophie is asleep. Take your time. She's safe. She likes you, Dante says, reading over her shoulder. Rosa. She doesn't trust easily, but she approves of you. That's significant. Does she know? About us? Rosa knows everything. She's been with my family for 30 years. She's probably known I was falling for you before I did. Maya settles back against his chest, listening to his heartbeat. Strong, steady, alive. What happens now? She asks. Now you finish your contract with me. You get paid an obscene amount of money for those incredible desserts. You continue building your business. And us? Dante is quiet for a moment. I'd like to take you to dinner. Properly. And I'd like to meet Sophie officially, not just as the tall man in her mother's apartment. I'd like to be part of your life, if you'll let me, but I won't rush you, and I won't make demands. What if I want you to make demands? The words surprise her as much as they surprise him. His laugh is low, intimate. Then we'll negotiate. I'm very good at negotiating. I bet you are. They fall asleep like that, tangled together in Dante's enormous bed, the city lights glowing through the windows, the future uncertain, but somehow less terrifying than it was. Maya's new bakery is in a better neighborhood, with actual commercial kitchen equipment and a storefront that faces the street. The sign above the door reads, "Sweet Endings" in Chastar's elegant script, and there's almost always a line of customers waiting. The down payment came from Dante, though he structured it as a business loan with reasonable terms. Maya is paying him back monthly, and they both pretend it's a normal business arrangement. Sophie has her own room now, in an apartment 3 times the size of their old place. Dante visits twice a week for dinner, teaching Sophie chess and listening to her chatter about school with patient attention. Derek is in jail, awaiting trial for assault with a deadly weapon, violation of a restraining order, and attempted murder. His lawyer tried to argue temporary insanity. The prosecution, with some behind-the-scenes help from Dante's resources, is pursuing the maximum sentence. Maya doesn't feel guilty about it. Some lessons need to be learned the hard way. Today is Sunday, which means family dinner at Dante's house. Rosa has been cooking since dawn, and Alessandro, Dante's nephew, is teaching Sophie to play Mario Kart with the seriousness of a military strategist. Maya brings tiramisu because Dante claims her version is better than his grandmother's, which is apparently the highest compliment in Italian culture. You're part of the family now, Rosa told her last month. Whether you like it or not. Maya likes it more than she ever expected to. Dante finds her in the kitchen, sliding up behind her and wrapping his arms around her waist. The kids are occupied. We have approximately 10 minutes before they need adult supervision. Only 10 minutes? We're getting old. Speak for yourself. He kisses her neck, and she shivers. I have plenty of stamina. Mr. Moretti, are you being inappropriate in your own kitchen? Extremely inappropriate. I'm considering being much more inappropriate later tonight, after you put Sophie to bed. Maya turns in his arms, looping her hands behind his neck. I love you. He still looks surprised every time she says it, like he can't quite believe it's real. I love you too. Even though I walked into your meeting and ruined your intimidation factor. Especially because of that. He kisses her softly. You reminded me that life is more than power and territory. You gave me something worth protecting beyond the family business. Uncle Dante, Alessandro's voice from the living room. Sophie says girls can't be good at Mario Kart, but she just beat me 3 times. Dante sighs. Duty calls. Welcome to parenthood, Maya teases. They walk into the living room together, and Maya's heart swells at the sight. Sophie and Alessandro arguing good-naturedly about racing techniques. Rosa setting the table, the warm glow of family and safety and belonging. This isn't the life she imagined 3 months ago, standing in her tiny apartment wondering how to pay the electric bill. It's more complicated, more dangerous, more unexpected. It's also better, fuller, richer in ways that have nothing to do with money. Dante catches her eye across the room and smiles. Not his public smile, not his business smile, but the real one. The one reserved just for her. And Maya smiles back, thinking about wedding cakes and wrong addresses and how sometimes the best things in life come from the most unexpected mistakes. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you loved this story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.